Hello and welcome to the Money Rebel podcast. This is your host, Haley David, and it is my mission to help you be your own boss, rebel against your 9-to-5, and build a successful business that you actually love. In my world, I believe that business gets to be fun, easy, and profitable AF. This podcast is your go-to guide to help you start and build a business that will pave the way for your dream life. Join me every week as I chat about marketing tips, business strategy, industry trends, and life as an entrepreneur. So if you're ready to play by your own rules, attract more dream clients, and build your business to 6 figures and beyond, grab a drink and let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Money Rebel podcast. This is your host, Haley David. And today I'm going to be talking about the 4 big pricing mistakes that most business owners make and how to avoid them. As you're listening to this episode, please remember that if you are making some of these mistakes or you have made them in the past, please do not worry. You are not alone. Every business owner, including myself, has made some of these mistakes. No one is perfect. And if you strive for perfection in life or in business, you'll drive yourself insane and you will never feel good enough. So my goal for this episode is to just highlight some pricing mistakes that some people might not even realize are blocking them from the success that they want in business. I know sometimes that Instagram content and just content in general can make us as business owners feel like we're not doing enough or you're not good enough, etc. And that is absolutely not my intention at all. And I want to take a moment to validate that you are good enough, you're doing a good job, and you're likely doing all of the things. You're doing your best, right? So please listen to this episode with that in mind. You're doing your absolute best. And I'm here to help simplify pricing so you can get your pricing strategy right and learn how to confidently price your services and digital products so you don't have to spend time questioning your rates or doubting yourself. So diving straight into mistake number 1, picking your prices randomly out of thin air with no research at all. This is actually one of the least helpful things you can do for your business. And to break this down more, picking your prices randomly or just choosing a price out of thin air could look like deciding what to charge for your services just based on what you want to make. So for example, let's say you're a graphic designer and you decide to charge $3,000 for a logo because it sounds nice to make that much money. But that's the only thought process that went into deciding what to charge. Or maybe it's pricing your online course at $1,200 just because you feel like it. We've all been there. Pricing can feel overwhelming, and sometimes you just throw a number out there and hope that it works. But I'm here to show you why that approach could really be holding you back and how to fix it. Pricing your services, offers, and digital products randomly without any research or strategy is sabotaging your success and the money that you're making in your business. It's also slowly killing your confidence because when you go to sell that service or your course, you go back and forth over the price, and it really affects your ability to show up and sell. And I understand that for some business owners, they might not know any better. I know that there is not a big emphasis put on learning pricing when starting a business. And most resources, coaches, courses, etc., they drop the ball when it comes to teaching a pricing strategy and framework that actually works. When you pick your prices randomly, it's really hurting your business and it's a roadblock to making the money that you want. And one of the reasons is because you haven't taken your expenses into consideration to ensure you're making the profit that you need and want to make. When you are randomly pricing your services, you're not considering key aspects of your business that make your business unique, your business model. It's really unintentional. And it also means that you have no idea of the competitive landscape and what's happening in your industry, which is essential to having a successful business. And it's one of the fundamental pieces that go into creating a pricing strategy. So for example, if there are other service providers with years of more experience and maybe they have better quality, but their prices are the exact same as yours, you are going to have a very hard time selling your courses, services, and digital products. Pricing also impacts the way consumers perceive your brand. If you are randomly picking a price, how do you know that it aligns with the way you want your business to actually be perceived by your potential customers and clients. Instead of deciding what to charge randomly, you really need to price your services, offers, and digital products intentionally so that your price reflects the quality, expertise, value, and the uniqueness of your business. It also needs to reflect the competitive landscape and what's going on in your industry. So the biggest takeaway here, if you randomly price your services, I encourage you to take the time to create an intentional and aligned pricing strategy. Make sure to keep listening to the end of this episode because I have something that will help you do exactly that, and it's a lot easier than you think. So mistake number 2 is that you want to avoid pricing your services, digital products, and offers using outside influences to determine what you charge. This can be anything from copying your competitors' pricing, asking strangers in random Facebook groups what you should be charging, or listening to coaches that you haven't hired or don't actually have a pricing framework, and or listening to other people's opinions. The reason you should not use outside influences to determine your pricing and pricing strategy is because they do not know your unique business model, competitive landscape, or industry. There's no research or intentional strategy when you use outside methods to pick your prices. It would almost be like letting a random person pick the name for your baby or where to live. They don't have the necessary information, context, and firsthand experience to make such an important decision. The same goes for your business. And I get it. Looking at what others charge or having someone tell you what to charge feels like an easy shortcut, but it's also why you might be losing potential clients, have income fluctuations, and the reason why you're not making the money you want to be making in business. If you're currently making the mistake or you've made it in the past, please don't worry. There is a better way, and I'm here to show you what that is. Learning how to actually price your services and offers and creating a pricing strategy is the foundation your business desperately needs. Without it, no matter what you do, you'll always feel unstable. Mistake number 3, spending more time on your marketing and sales than you do looking at your pricing and business foundations. So really what's happening here is that a lot of business owners don't realize the bigger role that pricing plays in their business. And because of that, they're not taking their pricing seriously and they don't make it a priority. It's totally understandable that as a business owner, you think that marketing and sales is more important because that's what brings the clients in. It's what makes sales. It's what grows your revenue. But what you don't realize is that without a pricing strategy and knowing how to actually price your services and offers, none of those things will work as effectively. So it's like spending money to make your house look pretty by painting the walls, buying new furniture, hiring that fancy interior designer. But little do you know, the foundation of your house is crumbling. And an unstable foundation in your house means you have no home. It's a waste of time and money without making sure that your foundation is stable and the bones and structure of the house are solid, that they're good. The same exact thing goes for business. Don't spend all of your time and money marketing, hiring fancy social media managers, copywriters, graphic designers, sales experts, etc., when the foundation of your business is unstable. Your pricing is one of the biggest supporting blocks of the foundation in your business. It is one of the stepping stones to creating a steady business that has longevity. Neglecting your pricing is costing you money, potential clients, your time, and your energy. Ultimately, it's costing you the business that you want. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet because the podcast episode that I did last week called The Truth About Pricing goes into way more detail about why your pricing strategy matters. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, I highly recommend going back and giving it a listen. But the takeaway here is to set some time aside every month or at least every quarter to review your pricing strategy. So overall, when you focus on marketing and sales, which is extremely important in business, do not get me wrong, but you neglect pricing and you don't treat pricing with the same importance, it's really going to hurt you in the long run because it doesn't have to be marketing is more important or sales are more important or even that pricing is more important. They're all important and they all work together cohesively to support your business goals. Last but not least, mistake number 4, which is only pricing for profit. I'm also going to keep this one short and sweet because I'm doing an entire episode on this exact topic in a few weeks. So really, cost plus pricing is adding a markup to the expenses of that product or service. So for example, if you sold handmade coffee mugs and it costs you $5 to make it, cost plus pricing essentially says, take your expenses and multiply it by 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it is, right? It's the basis is you use your expenses and the costs of producing the product or fulfilling the service as the main method in pricing. As someone who's been an entrepreneur and a service provider for almost 10 years, I started my first local service-based business in 2015. I can confidently tell you this method does not work for service providers or entrepreneurs who sell digital products. This method works great for product-based businesses, but using this method to price your services is killing your service business. And only using cost plus pricing is a problem because it lacks nuance and misses out on several key factors that should be considered when pricing your services and digital products and offers. Calculating your expenses and doubling or tripling the cost of them to get your price does not take into consideration the expertise and experience that you bring. For example, if you're a therapist with a PhD, over 10 years of experience, but you base your hourly rates off of the $30 or even $300 that you have in expenses, your pricing is off. The other big problem with this is most service providers do not have fixed expenses per service or per course, right? Some do, but most don't. Using this method to price is not fair to you or to the customer. It will leave you wondering why you're working so hard to not make as much money as you should be making. So I'm going to stop there, but if you really take a second to think about how problematic it could be to price your courses or services using this method, it really does make sense due to the main fact that there's likely less fixed expenses that come with delivering those services compared to delivering a product like a mug. You know exactly what goes into making a coffee mug. So one quick thing I want to also mention is that on the flip side of this, I also see business owners pick their prices and have no idea what their expenses are, so they make hardly any profit. And obviously, the main mistake here that I said was only using profit to price, but the other really big mistake that goes without saying is to not be aware of what your expenses are at all. It does matter, and you need to know what your expenses are so you can make a profit. However, it is not the way you should determine your final pricing and what to charge. It's one thing that should be taken into consideration in a larger scale. Overall, the theme here is the same. You need to be intentional with your pricing. You need to take your pricing seriously, and you really need to learn how to actually price your services and offers in an aligned way for your business. And I have another bonus pricing mistake to avoid that came to mind, and it's probably not going to come as a surprise now that you've listened to this episode, but really overall, the biggest pricing mistake is not having a pricing strategy and not feeling confident in your ability to price your services and offers. Because pricing is a skill, it's something that you will use for the lifetime of your business. And a pricing strategy for your business looks like knowing how to price each service, digital product, and offer that you have confidently, not just randomly or unintentionally. It means intentionally knowing what to charge. It also means having structure in place, knowing how you'll take the payment, what payment processors you'll use, your payment and refund policy, and more. Big businesses have very intentional pricing strategies that they continuously monitor over the course of the year. They spend thousands of dollars and hire professionals to regularly help them set their prices and build their pricing strategy to make sure it's aligned. Having an aligned pricing strategy gives you the confidence and grounded foundation that you need to build your business from. It doesn't matter if you're making $1,000 a month or $20,000 a month. If you do not have a pricing strategy, you will have a very hard time maintaining those numbers. And I want you to know that the success and goals that you want for your business is possible. So by now, maybe you're thinking, okay, Haley, that sounds great, but how the heck do I create a pricing strategy or price my services? I don't even know what that is or how to price my services. And like I said, I'm here to show you a better way. I know there is so much misinformation out there that it's really hard to know what to believe or what to use. It all seems contradictory and just really confusing, but it doesn't have to be that way. Imagine how it would feel to be on a sales call with a dream potential client and feel so confident in your rates that when they ask you what the investment is, you tell them with no hesitation. No questioning and asking yourself, what if it's too high? What if I price it too low? No, just next level confidence because you know your prices are spot on. Imagine being able to make the money that you want in your business and feeling steady and supported, knowing that your business has the foundations to be around for the long haul. Not only is this possible for you, but it's easier than you think. The Nail Your Pricing template gives you exactly what you need to price your services and offers so you can have absolute certainty in your prices in as little as an hour, saving your time and mental energy for chasing after the big goals that you have. My pricing framework has been battle tested for almost 10 years. One of the first steps that I do when working with a client one-on-one is to evaluate their pricing using the pricing framework that is in this template and that you'll learn inside of the workshop. And this template is not just an hour-long video of my face on a screen with me teaching you how to price, and then you're left to figure it out and apply all the information to your business by yourself after the training. No, it's not like that at all. This is a template that literally tells you exactly what to charge. And then the workshop teaches you my proprietary pricing framework and walks you through step by step to do the application part with you. The Nail Your Pricing template is a do-it-yourself way to create a pricing strategy that actually works. You'll also get the competitor research template so you can effortlessly gather competitor information that will help inform your pricing strategy and give you a competitive edge in your industry. Because as you've heard me say over and over, strategic and aligned pricing means understanding what's happening in your industry and with your competitors. This template is truly one of a kind, and I have not seen anything else like it on the market. Once you do step one of my pricing framework, after that, you will be able to use the template. You'll answer a few questions, input information about your business, and it literally will tell you a proposed price based on your unique business model. It's an incredible tool, and the reviews have been amazing. Here's what Kayla had to say after she used the pricing template. The Money Rebel pricing template is a game changer. I was very ready to undersell myself to get clients, but using this template gave me the confidence to charge a rate that I know is fair and competitive. This template has taken out all of the guesswork so I can confidently sell my offer without stumbling over the price, and I am so grateful. Thank you, Haley. That is just one of the reviews from the template. And as we all know, running a business can feel so overwhelming, but pricing your services and offers doesn't have to be. That's exactly why the Nail Your Pricing template tells you how much to charge in just a few simple steps. Imagine having a tool that automatically tells you what to charge using a proven formula based on industry standards and key aspects of your brand. The best part is this template and workshop won't take dozens of hours to complete or cost hundreds of dollars. You can nail your pricing today with this template and workshop for under $100 and in as little as 2 hours. So if you're ready to feel unwavering in your prices and never have to question what to charge again, grab the Nail Your Pricing template so you can solve your pricing problems for good. To learn more and purchase the template, go to moneyrebelco.com/nailyourpricing. Otherwise, you can go to the show notes and find a link there. I'm really so excited for you guys to be able to use this template and go through it. If you have any questions, send me an email or a DM. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy this episode, you can help support the podcast by making sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review. Thank you so much, my Money Rebel family, for supporting the show, and tune in next week for another episode.